This is the new Join 8-inch radio with Lollipop 5.1.1, but 2 gig of RAM. So Join finally started coming out with their radios with 2 gig of RAM about 2 months ago, and they work really good. I've had about, 7 different Join radios now. I've had their 7-inch, a couple of those, their 10-inch, the 5.11, and the regular Kit Kat one. I've had the other 8-inch running 4.4.4, which is what I just pulled out of here, and I still have in my other car. But it was time to update. I really wanted Lollipop because I could not play Amazon Music Player on the Kit Kat version, and a couple other minor things I wanted. Plus, I wanted the more RAM, a little more speed. So we'll fire this thing up and see what you can do. Now, these new Join radios have a hibernation mode that lasts 48 hours. So you shut your car off, it kind of goes into a deep sleep. It doesn't fully shut down. It only pulls 15 milliamps, which is absolutely nothing. I mean, you can probably have hibernation mode for 2 weeks at 15 milliamps and still start your car, no problem. But then you don't have to go through that long cold boot of 30 seconds, every time you get in your car, which got kind of annoying. I've had some old pumpkin ones and stuff that had the long boot up. So my car's been off about 18 hours. Let's watch how long it takes to fire up. I mean, it's instant. And the music's already playing instantly too. That's pretty damn fast. I mean, that's as quick as a factory radio. I want to say that was, 2-3 seconds? So, very cool. Power amp, if you play MP3s, is probably one of the best MP3 players out there you can use. Another nice thing when you went to the 5.1.1 is now you can change the home screen launcher. Now, if anybody's had their 4.4 when they switched to the 1.8 gig processor, they changed some stuff on it. And if you go to their car settings, if you had a car settings button in a menu that looked like this, you could not change the home screen launcher. It was impossible. It was just embedded in their user interface. But now you can actually put your own on here, which is really nice. And kind of a flaw they made, if you use their factory launcher, it's actually handled like an app. So if you went into your recent apps and you closed all apps, you actually closed the home screen launcher. That was kind of a little bit of a problem there, because then you click the home button and you have a blank screen. So that's one thing they need to fix, but that's okay though, because it does not close aftermarket launchers. So yeah, it's really really quick, really fast. It loads Google Maps incredibly quick, which is one thing I love about it. I have the Google Now launcher on here, and you press the little microphone, or you say the OK, Google. It's really responsive, works great. I've tried Amazon Music, Spotify, Pandora, and iHeartRadio. They all work fine. I haven't had any problems with any of them. Stereo controls work good on these things too if you have them available. I do have a video how to hook up stereo controls for Android radios in my other videos. So the radio comes preloaded with iGo navigation and Google Maps. iGo navigation works pretty well. The maps aren't as updated as I'd like them to be. I was up northern Chicago area using it, and it was just lost. It kept on saying, losing, and it's saying, not losing its signal, but saying, okay, you missed your turn around, go left, and then you go turn around, go left, and it says, no, wait, turn back around, go left again. And it's like, I was going in a circle. So I use Google Maps, I would say, the majority of the time. Now, here's a bug I found. Let's say you're playing Power Amp Radio here, and you want to close it. So you go in your recent apps, you swipe to close. Problem is, it's still playing. So that's definitely a problem. Now I can just pause the music with my widget here, but now let's say I have Pandora playing. Pandora loads pretty quick, about as quick as it does on your phone. I do have my phone as a mobile hotspot, so I get Wi-Fi tethering off of my cell phone. Alright, so Pandora auto plays, works great. Now if I use my steering wheel controls and I want to pause the music, here's what happens. Pauses Pandora, and it kind of toggles, and now Power Amp is playing. So it kind of goes back and forth. I mean, I guess that might be kind of a cool option if you want to switch back and forth from one music player to the other, but if I just want to pause the music, so right now they're both paused. I don't know what's going to happen if I press play. Okay, it defaulted to Power Amp. Press play again. Now it's Pandora. Nope, now I'm back to Power Amp again. So that's a little bit of a bug. I had my old 4.4 version of this Join radio, and it did not have that problem. The only way I found to really fix that, I downloaded an app called Task Killer I can go through, pick which ones I want to turn off. This was the only way I could find to kill the actual apps in the background. Hit kill, now all of them are dead. And then I can launch my new music app, and I can actually press play and pause, and the play and pause will work without toggling to a different one. Show you a couple of the music players here. Here's Amazon Music Player. I haven't used it too much, but it did not work on the last version I had. But on this one, it works really good. What was weird on the 4.4 with the 1.8 gig processor is you can get to, you click on a station, it would show it's playing, and it would say play, and it would just never do anything. It never started playing. Amazon Music Player is not the best to use on these radios. I only use it when I'm going to be driving for a long time, because every time you get in the car, you have to kind of start all over, pick your station, and they always take forever to load. It's okay if you're cruising on the highway and you're going to be driving for a couple hours, hey, go for it. But like you see right now, it's taking forever to load, so I don't use it too much. Now there it goes, and it should start playing any day now. And here it goes. So yeah, I don't use that every day because it just takes too long. I don't know what the heck that group is. I just picked something. A lot of people ask about Spotify. Spotify works really well. The only negative with Spotify is it doesn't autoplay every time you start your car. So it's not terrible. You know, I use my steering wheel control. I just have to press play real quick, but it loads really fast. Way faster than the other one. And you're in. So really responsive on Spotify. I use this probably the most out of all of them. So here's a cool little thing they add too. They add this little floating button right here. You can move it around wherever you want. And when you press it, you can blank your screen. If if you're driving at nighttime and it's too bright, you just tap to bring it back to life. You can also go to your settings, go to your common apps. All apps are right back to your home screen if you're from any screen. So it's kind of cool. You can program whatever common apps you want there. Go to all apps. This was actually a game or a lifesaver for me because, as I said earlier, when I went to my recent apps and I clicked on close all, this is before I put on a aftermarket home screen launcher, it killed the actual Join home screen launcher. So I went to home and I had a blank screen. I'm like, holy crap, what do I do? I can't get into anything. So luckily I had this little button here and I was able to go into my apps here, and I went to the Google Play Store and downloaded Google Now, or I could have went into settings and I could have did it that way, and I could have actually relaunched the home screen. So that's bug number 2. If you use an aftermarket launcher though, it's okay. You're not going to have that problem. But I do like this little button. It's pretty nice. So let's go into a couple more things here. Their normal sound, they've simplified. They kind of keep going back and forth with their equalizers. Now it's a simple 3-band. The last one I had a 15-band on there. And I've seen videos with the 5.12 gig of RAM where they actually have a 15-band also. So nothing too fancy here. Sound quality is great. It has a subwoofer output. But I do recommend a line driver. The RCA pre-out is only about 0.8 of a volt, which is terrible. Some JVCs, things like that, have 5 volt, 6 volt preamps. So if you have your amp in your trunk, by the time your 20-foot RCA reaches back there, even if it's good quality, I was measuring only about 0.2 volts. So all you're basically doing is amplifying noise. I mean, you get bass, but it actually made my ears hurt, and it didn't sound that good. So by putting the line driver from Rockford Fosgate on there, it's about $70. It boosts the preamp line. I was getting 5 to 6 volts at the amp, and it sounds great. I mean, I have awesome bass in this car. Regular sound sounds amazing. This sounds as good as any other radio I've had, and I've literally, in this car in 6 years, I've had 10 radios. And in my 99 Trans Am, I've had that car 16 years. I've had over 25 radios. I kind of have like a radio fetish thing. Now let's go to the other settings here. I keep missing my hits here. Car settings. Here's where you're going to find a lot of your stuff. Some of this stuff, I don't know what it means. They do have a little how-to menu built in the radio you can click on, but it doesn't tell you what auto nav does and some of this other stuff here. Brightness control on, off. This just means that small light control means that when your lights turn on, it backlit dims and you get the light on the side. Or you can turn that on and the side lights are on all the time, but then the radio face never dims. So it's kind of, I like it this way. You can set a boot volume, like an auto boot volume. So if you're jamming to your music when you shut your car off and then you go out first thing in the morning, it doesn't scare the hell out of you. Steering wheel controls, pretty simple here. You hold down your steering wheel control button and as you're holding it, you press whatever you want to assign it as. So steering wheel controls are great. Looks like I need to assign a couple here. I don't have them all assigned. Do my GPS, do my phone there, and save. It's that easy, but you do have to hook them up. And like I said, check out my other videos. I show how to actually hook up your steering wheel controls. Navi app, you have the navigation button right here on the side panel here, right there. You can program that anything. It doesn't have to be navigation. If you want that to be Pandora, it can be Pandora, whatever you want. And the driver's door position left, right. So click over here. Here is your main settings. Just a few little things. Keypad off. I hate radios when it beeps every button you press. This takes you back to the equalizer again. Loudness switch, amp switch on. They default on. Advanced settings. 3368 is always the password for these. Here's your dormancy I talked about. If you want it to reboot every time you shut your car off, you can turn it off. But I see absolutely no reason to do that. Radar switch, no clue what that is. You can finally turn off the backup camera lines, because this does have backup camera. And before, the older ones, the lines were defaulted on. You couldn't turn them off. Keep on going. Automatic start and stop. Don't know what that does. Car brand logo. You can pick the boot up logo. Fortunately, they don't have Pontiac anymore. The old ones did. And I've tried adding my old logo, and it's really weird. I just can't get it to take it. So I don't even bother, because I usually always drive my car within 48 hours. So I never have to see a boot up logo anyway. You can change your volume balances on this one here. Like I have the radio up a little bit, so that way when you switch your different sources, they're always about the same. Keep on going. There's a lot of menus here. One-click setup, never used it. Display calibration, panel key study. What that means is you can go into here and you can change all the buttons on the side. If you don't want power to be power, you can make it, I changed mine to phone, because I really see no reason to press the power button on there. I keep everything else the same. Volume up, down, back, home, screen. Back up. I should have pressed that. And it took me all the way out. That's okay. Let's go into the regular settings, because that was about the end of that menu anyway. Basic, set up your Wi-Fi. You can change your display, like the brightness of it. Different things like that. Now, one final issue I found with this is when you go into the accessibility. So some apps require advanced permissions. I had a really nice launcher called Car Media Launcher that had your speed on the actual home screen. It was really nice, but it needed advanced permissions for it to work. Now, normally on your phone, you would click on OK. It would take you to that screen, and you just click yes, give it advanced permissions. For some reason on this, it just doesn't exist. I don't know why. They have it locked out. I also tried using Tasker, which is an app to automate functions, and same thing. I can't use it because I can't give it advanced permissions to be able to do what it needs to do. So, not a huge deal. Most people will never need that anyway. And I think it's perfectly fine. So, again, this is a really cool radio. Best one I've had yet. The minor bugs don't bother me that much at all. If you're looking for a new one, I highly recommend enjoying. I've never had a problem.